So the greatest obstructionist in U.S. history, Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, made a statement about reparations. And I want you to hear exactly what he says, because he isn't the only one that feel this way. We're about to address not only him, but every last person that feel that way. But let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Yeah, I don't think reparations for something that happened 150 years ago, for whom none of us currently living are responsible, is a good idea. We've, tried to deal with our original sin of slavery by fighting a civil war, by passing landmark civil rights legislation. We've elected an African-American president. I think we're always a work in progress in this country, but no one currently alive was responsible for that. And I don't think we should be trying to figure out how to compensate for it. First of all, it'd be pretty hard to figure out who to compensate. We've had waves of immigrants as well who've come to the country and experienced dramatic discrimination of one kind or another. So no, I don't think reparations are a good idea.
So you heard what Mitch McConnell had to say, and he is a representative of the majority of folks that look like him in this country. You see, when it comes to trying to give anything to black people, all of a sudden you start looking at, why should I have to pay for it? And by the end of this video, I'm about to call every last one of them out and show by factual data by the United States government of people they should be calling out as well. But he stated that we had nothing to do with it today. If you look at the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution, in one instance, it did end slavery, but more so for private slaveholders, and it transferred it to the states, the city, the federal government. So according to the 13th Amendment, we'll put that up. As you can clearly see, slavery is still on the books. Slavery has not ended. So yes, Mitch McConnell, you are still responsible for slavery. Slavery didn't get off the books back at June 19, 1865. It didn't do that at all. Even when you look at July 4, 1776, that's about to come up, the celebration of America. Where was my ancestors? Still enslaved, after your ancestors promised them they'll be free if they help you fight the British. We talk about reparations, and black people here talk about the United States government, but the British government owes reparations too to Africans, because remember, they brought us over here. It actually wasn't the so-called Americans. Now the so-called Americans continued it until 1865, June 19th, but the British government also owed slavery reparations. I just want to put that out there. We're talking about based on historical references. So when all these Caucasian immigrants is coming over here and they say, just come over here, we have a Head Right Act, you can come just get land, and we got a great economy. Where did the economy come from? Slave labor. Now, many of them say, many of my ancestors never owned any slaves. But your ancestors came over here, knew it was going on. The economy was built off of that. The free land and the free everything they was given was based off of that. And your ancestors knew it, and you partaked in it in that time period. They did. You benefited off of that. Give an example. Let's use a modern day thing. Let's say if you go to a town and the economy of the town is ran off of sex trafficking, and you have women being held against their will and forced to do sex acts for money, and yet that is the economy of the town. And they told you that you could come in and you can get free houses and get free everything. Just start off in that town and you can get you a legitimate job or whatever else. Now, you know the economy of that town is sex trafficking. The police going along with it, the city government going along with it, and they're fine with it because, hey, it's not them. Those particular women are just slaves. They're a commodity. They don't care about them. Look at how great the economy is. Now, if you move into that town and take a free house and you know all that is going on, you're just as responsible because you knew exactly what was going on. Hence, to look at back in that time period. So yes, you're complicit. And once again, slavery is still on the books. So you're definitely responsible for it. We look at the wealth gap. They stated that it takes 226 years for black people to catch up to white folks in wealth. What created that? Slavery, cotton, tobacco. That's what created that. A black people's free labor. The thing is, anytime there's a payout to black people, there's always a problem. All of a sudden, people want to start thinking about their tax dollars and where is this going and why should I have to pay for this? But I'm going to show you a little later on. I'm about to call them out on that, and let's see what their response is going to be a little later on in the video once we go to the computer and just kind of bust them out about their tax dollars. Why is it they never stated not one day, I was not responsible for the Trail of Tears. I was not responsible for taking land from the Native Americans. I didn't kill Native Americans. Why is my tax dollars still going to Native Americans? Not one of them say that. Their tax dollars right now is going to Native Americans. And they never say that at all. All of a sudden, they worry about what they're responsible for. When it was the Japanese internment camps, when that happened, and during Ronald Reagan, he gave them $20,000 each. They didn't rise up and say, hey, wait a minute. I didn't put them in no internment camps. You guys did. Why should I have to pay all these Japanese people for this? Why? You never said that, not one day. What about when the United States government gave money to Holocaust survivors? You didn't rise up and say, hey, wait a minute, hold on. I had nothing to do with Adolf Hitler and what he did. Why should I have to use my tax dollars to go to them? Just recently, before Barack Obama got out of office, he gave them a few more dollars before he got out of office. Now, one of you rose up and said, wait a minute, my tax dollars going to them. We had nothing to do with the Holocaust. Why are we paying our dollars? Hell no. Why don't you say that? But when it comes to black people, oh, wait a minute, hold on. My tax dollars, I had nothing to do with slavery. Why should I have to pay for that? They need to do something else. They need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but they don't need to get my tax dollars. You hypocrites. You straight hypocrite. See, if you had the same message for everybody, like Native Americans, Holocaust survivors, Japanese that was in internment camps, you said the same thing every time, they'll say, you know what? That's just how they feel. But it's not about how you feel. It's you showing your racism. You showing that you don't want the black man or black woman of America that you owe, the United States government owe. Slavery was sanctioned. Jim Crow was the law. Redlining was also permitted. Discriminating from the GI Bill, discriminating in FHA loans, which created the white middle class, but black people couldn't have any of that. All the advantages you got. And then when it comes time to the government, because the government was responsible for all of this, time for them to pay or saying it's time to rectify this issue. Oh, hell no, no. I had nothing to do with that. See, the thing is, when you say that, knowing you never said that before, the Native Americans and Japanese and Holocaust survivors and any other people they give money to every year, you say nothing about that. You just proven to us that you do not want black people not even have a dime more than you for 2 seconds. You don't want that. You fear that if black people get this money, then what's going to happen to us is we're going to lose our privilege and our advantages that we so enjoy. And this has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican, left, right. We're talking about how the collective feel, because you look at the data, 85% of those that always are asked don't want black people to get reparations. Only a small group, 15% of white America is cool with black people getting reparations. But we all know this based on how black people is treated. See, I always said this, that small minority in the white community, they are just great people. I wish they were the majority in everything. We wouldn't have a race problem. It would never be a race problem in this country. But unfortunately, they're not the ones in leadership. When you have people like Mitch McConnell, Mr. Confederate flag, Mitch McConnell, he is an obstructionist. He wants to block every bill that comes in. It should be against the law for him to block any bill to be voted on the Senate floor. If it comes up, you need to vote on it, period. Now, you can vote against it. That's your business. But you can't hold up bills and hold up the country and then you want to call yourself a grim reaper and be happy about that. Like, why y'all keep voting him in for? Nobody else can run and actually have some sense and want to move the country along. I mean, this guy makes me sick. I get it. And that whole time, even during Obama, we want to make sure he's a one-term president. He want to block everything that Barack Obama tried to do. Whether you support Obama or not, that is the truth. Yet this same guy still, we don't have no term limits. But These people never talk about their tax dollars. I can understand they was truly about their tax dollars, and they would always preach that sermon about where their money's going and how no, their money not going to go here, no, their money not going to go there, and they're raising hell. It's only with black people. And I want black people to understand that. This is why reparations is a racial thing. It's pure racism. Even that commission that they talking about over there at Capitol Hill, you can see all the responses. It's nothing but racism. See, reparations expose them every time. It even exposes the Democrat Party too. Because they say, oh, I'm cool with you studying it, but I don't want black people to get anything. You understand? Everybody else can get something, but not black people. No, not at all. Not black American people. Let me rephrase that. Not black American people. Because a lot of the tax dollars is going to black people. It's just not black American people. Where the money would actually stay here in America. Where the money would actually stimulate the American economy. Where business owners would actually make a lot of money if reparations would be paid. But they cannot even look that far into logic because the racial hatred clouds their judgment. They see red when they hear any black person want to get anything that will be equal to them. They can't stand that. Now, let me wrap this video up, and we're going to go and show many of these so-called people who worry about their tax dollars and say, my tax dollars not paying for slavery. I'm going to show you where your tax dollars are going. Because since you're so concerned about it, and I know you're not going to say anything about what I'm about to show you, but I'm showing black people to give you more of a weapon to speak when they start talking about their tax dollars. But let's go to the computer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on foreignassistance.gov. It is a part of the Department of State. Now, I will show you where your tax dollars are actually going and where are these people that's so outraged about reparations, what I'm about to show you, complaining about tax dollars. Now, I'm going to look at this 2018, then we can get into 2019 as well. So you can go to this same website, foreignassistance.gov/explore. Now, let's look at a lot of countries here. Now, this is the money that was spent, okay? Mexico, $228 million. Where were you complaining about your tax dollars going to Mexico? But if you're giving black people that money here in the U.S., it'd have been spent here, right? Let's go down to, we can even scroll in, which we will scroll in. Guatemala, where a lot of the illegal immigrants are coming from, 217 million. Why aren't you complaining about that? Honduras, 175 million spent by your tax dollars. Why aren't you saying anything about that? El Salvador, 142 million. Nicaragua, 48. Costa Rica, 26. Panama, 32 million. We go to the Caribbean, Jamaica, 31 million. Cuba, 9.7 million. Now, Haiti got $279 million of U.S. money. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Dominican Republic got 63 million, as you can see here. Now, none of y'all is complaining about your tax dollars. Venezuela, even though they're talking about Venezuela, they still spent 9.5 million. Colombia, 321 million. This is all your tax dollars, 13 million. Ecuador, Peru, 74 million. Brazil, 21 million. Okay. Why don't you complain about this? Is all your tax dollars here. Bolivia, as you can see here. Chile, 1.1 million. Argentina, all these countries. Why aren't you complaining about all this money? This just on this hemisphere here. Of course, they say some spent here in the budget. But check this out. Canada, 19 million. Right here. Canada. Everybody getting money from the United States of America. Let's back out here a little bit. Now, a lot of the money, believe it or not, is spent in Africa. So see, you saw how Haiti and Jamaica and all of them was getting money, right? See, you cool with that, but why don't you ain't cool with black Americans getting it? That's going to spend it here. Now, we talk about the continent in which a lot of us say, why can't we get citizenship in the United States of, in the African nation? This is a lot of the problem. See, Ghana got $200 million from the United States government. So if Ghana start pushing about us coming back and saying, hey, we really start going back, you think the U.S. is going to keep giving them money? Because they ain't going to like us leaving like that. Don't ever believe that they want us gone like that. Cote d'Ivoire, 72 million. Look, this is West Africa. Liberia, 231 million. Sierra Leone, 54 million. Guinea, 73 million. Mali, 216 million spent. Senegal, Mauritania, Niger. Look at all the money spent there. Nigeria, $722 million in Nigeria. That is a lot of money in Nigeria, folks. Why aren't you complaining about your tax dollars then? Cameroon got 72 million, Central African Republic, Chad, Sudan, South Sudan. Look all the money coming in there. Ethiopia got 833 million, Somalia, Kenya, Uganda. I mean, I just want you to see all this. A lot of African nations are getting money. Now, y'all would cry holy hell if black Americans was getting all this money from the U.S. government. Mozambique, as you can see there, Madagascar. Let's see, South Africa, 369 million. Botswana, 26 million. Namibia, 34 million. Angola, 39. Zambia, 334. Burundi, 47 million. Democratic Republic of the Congo. You got Congo here. Gabon didn't get that much. Let's see if we could zoom in a little bit. Comoros, 1.1. Let's see. They didn't get anything here. Oh, you see, they got 254 million there. Now let's go here. Yemen, look how much money is spent. Why aren't y'all complaining about all this money? Saudi Arabia, India, look how much money they got. Let's scroll over. Burma, it's still India, Thailand. All this is your tax dollars. Where's all these financial analysts in the white community complaining about their tax dollars? Indonesia, Malaysia, China even got some money, and y'all not complaining about that. South Korea, they even spent a small amount of money in North Korea too. Where's your complaints at? Japan, about your tax dollars. Come on. Jordan, as you can see, they spent $1 billion in Jordan, over $1 billion last year. Where's your complaints about your tax dollars? Israel, 48. Let's see here. West Bank, 200 million. Lebanon. I want y'all to see some of this. Syria, Iraq, Iran. I just want y'all to see what all you talking about your money. Where's it going? So what I'm saying is, see, black people, they don't say nothing about all this money, all these countries that all their tax dollars is going to. They spending. I'm not going to be calling the names. I'm just showing you this real quick. Czech Republic, Germany, Belgium, France, United Kingdom, Ireland. I want y'all to see all this. And I'm not going to keep going to every single country, but this is the thing. Don't say nothing to black people about no reparations and your tax dollars. And when you start speaking about all that money that I just showed you on this map on financialassistance.gov that went out in 2018, and look, I can click 2019 and start showing you then how much money they're spending. Oh, so far they spent 15 million in Mexico, spent 2.9 million in Brazil. Look at the money they spending. Ghana got 55 million so far. But you don't look, Nigeria already got 175 million this year. I can keep going, but what I'm saying is don't come up here with your little hypocritical fake things that you come in at us about your tax dollars, because you say nothing about your tax dollars until it comes to black people, well, black American people. Let me make sure I say that. Until it comes to black American people. That's when you have something to say. That's why I say you hypocrites. You don't know what you're talking about. You showing nothing but your racism toward black American people. And it's great today that we have numbers to compare. Because see, the mainstream media not going to show you all this money coming out of the United States to all these different countries. So you tell me in the comment section, since you're so against reparations, go complain to the United States government about all your tax dollars going to all these different countries, and they don't spend that kind of money inside the United States of America. All this money they're spending, and they talking about their $22 trillion in debt. Well, maybe if they start spending all your tax dollars right and keep that tax dollars right here in America, maybe we could not be in debt. But see, you're focused so much on black people, you don't want us to get no reparations at all. You'd rather the country to go down before you see us get any kind of reparations. See, that's what don't make you smart. It doesn't make you smart, because if you knew that most black Americans are going to just be Captain America and they're going to spend all the money right here in the U.S., you're going to get it right back, actually. But no, you don't care about that. You don't want black people to have not 5 cents more than you. But I want you to come tell me What are you going to do about all your tax dollars going to the Native Americans and all these countries that we showed you in this map? Please tell me how you're going to speak against that. I want you to call Mitch McConnell. I want you to call Nancy Pelosi. And I want all of you to go off and demand your tax dollars stop being spent in all these foreign nations. Watch how far that go with you. See, it's all okay to say that about black people. When it comes to all this other mess about them pushing the global white supremacy, they're going to tell you shut the hell up. You don't know what you're talking about and go sit down somewhere. You got to pay taxes. But let me know what you think, guys, in the comment section. I really like to know. I really like to know because they need to be called out on their crap. Because they don't never be consistent, but they definitely consistent on the hatred when it comes to us as black people, not wanting us to have any kind of economics, because they're extremely envious. We get ahead any step of the way. But prove your case in the comment section. Let me know if you're so against reparations. Tell me how you're going to speak against all these countries getting all your tax dollars that you're paying for.